To the phones we go. Madison, Wisconsin. David, great to have you with us on the EIB network. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, Rush?
Fine and dandy. Great to have you here.
Hey, well, what really prompted me to call is listening to you right away. You were talking about having a millennial call and kind of getting a point of view. And it's interesting. Just last night, I had a really big argument with my brother. My brother was a Navy SEAL, served 2 tours in Iraq. He's about 6 years older than I am. I'm 29 years old. And he moved out to California, and really sad and depressingly, he has really turned into kind of your classic Californian, where he is pro-amnesty, just everything anti-conservative. And
he's a SEAL? He's a rugged individual survivalist SEAL?
He used to be, yes. And I love my brother, and I have great respect for him and for what he did. But his attitude and thoughts on politics now is just depressing. And he still thinks that Facebook ads bought by Russia influenced the election. And I told him right away, I said, I won't use his name on air, but I said, do you realize that the Facebook representatives went before Congress and said that most of them weren't even due until after the election? And I'm sure you're familiar with Madison, Wisconsin, one of the most liberal cities in the Midwest.
Yes, but we own it. See, that's the great. We own Madison, Wisconsin. The EIB network dominates and owns it. So but we know all about it.
So I probably shouldn't even say this, but I'm a firefighter in Madison. And a lot of the people I work with, they're the same way. There's a news flash on NBC or CBS, and perfect example is the tax cuts. They said most Americans will be paying more in taxes right away. And all my coworkers like, oh, you see, look at these dirty Republicans. I'm like, guys, actually, how are you not curious?
This guy sounds as frustrated as we are. You sound as frustrated. That's why I stopped watching that stuff.
Oh, well, I try not to, but at work, I try and
right,
on Fox
you're
News,
searching for understanding. You want to know how can these people be so dense or so dangerously incurious or whatever it is. You get your brother and now these friends of yours in Madison.
Yeah, it's so frustrating and it's just mind-numbing ignorance, and I just can't even. Oh, it's so frustrating. It is
all of that, but it's more than that. There's a whole lot of factors here. Predominantly the media they consume, but there has to be a prejudice and a bias going in order for this stuff to act as confirmation for what they already believe.
And there is, but I can't believe that. I mean, I'm a strict conservative, and
do you have any success persuading them?
Not usually, and unfortunately, my brother. It's very interesting. I know you're aware, but when you argue with liberals, they start off with a couple usually distorted facts, and when you present them the real facts and how what they're saying is wrong, eventually they turn to personal insult.
Right, exactly. It takes 30 seconds when they call here. Okay, look, I got to go. Would you like a new iPhone 10? Yes or no? Fast.
Yes, that'd be wonderful.
Who's your carrier?
U.S. Cellular.
U.S. Cellular. Fine and dandy. You'll have one. Hang on so we can get your address to send it to you. I'm giving them away today, folks, and this Apple News, it's full of it. No, I didn't mean to brush him off. We just ran out of time. I understand the frustration of dealing with friends, family members that don't get it. He's 29 years old. This is one of the things we wanted to find out, attitudes of young people, things they're facing out there. We'll keep working at this and be right back. Here's John, another John that's in Houston. Great to have you, sir. Hello.
Thank you, Rush. Thanks for having me on the call today. Rush, baby, been listening to you since the early 80s, so my fondest memories were with my dad and my grandpa driving around the truck listening to you on the radio.
Thank you very much. I continue and remain gratified every time I hear about examples like this.
Well, I'll get to the point. Sterling asked me to give some comments earlier, and I think your question early in the program today around millennials or younger people, and I'm 37 years old, and I can tell you that I don't know a single person that voted for Hillary Clinton. And I think some of the people had previously identified themselves as maybe Democrats or liberals, but if you start to talk about actual issues, substance. Most people nowadays, they look at themselves, I think, that are in my generation, and they'll answer a substantive question in a very conservative way. So I think more and more people are becoming more conservative and not more liberal.
Do they vote that way? Is that what you're saying, or is this the way they talk and live?
I think it's both, and part of the reason is you've got a liberal media and you've got society in a broader context, I think, that are making identity politics so divisive that people look at it and say, hey, look, I'm not racist. I'm not bigoted. I'm not a homophobe. I'm not this. I'm not that. If that's what the Democrat Party stands for, count me out. Because once you over-index on things and the political pendulum swings way, way, way far to the left, the natural reaction is for people to go to the right. And I think that's exactly what's happening right now.
Well, the drive-by media reports just the opposite, that more and more people are succumbing to identity politics. More and more people are becoming aware of their various victim or minority status and are signing on to the Democrat Party as a result. You know, I'm like you. I don't know anybody who voted for Hillary, but a lot of people did. And I bet you could run into a lot of people who tell you they don't know anybody who voted for Trump. But a lot of people did. It just goes to show how balkanized. We don't just disagree politically, we distance ourselves from each other politically.